Hello guys, welcome to Fisto Gaming. I'm at Fisto and today I want to talk about 1.4 and the Bounty Hunter class in Star Wars The Old Republic. I've been away, I've been playing some other games, but I've come back just to test out 1.4. I kind of left it for a while in anticipation of this, and I wanted to check out the new changes they made to the Bounty Hunter class, talk through it a little bit now that I've played 3 or 4 war zones, and let you know what I think and some ideas concerning the changes in 1.4 PvP and to other classes, stuff like that. So let's get cracking. What have they changed for the Powertech, or for us guys that are playing Powertechs in 1.4? Well, what they've done and what they've been hinting at and suggesting they were going to do for quite a while now is make it more of a melee class. There was a lot of speculation about this when they announced it. What would they do? Would they reduce the flame burst, which is obviously one of your main moves, maybe down to 5 meters, or would they just make it more of a thermal detonator and incendiary missile or other moves like that? So maybe a stun, decrease in range. We didn't know, but now we do, and I'm back here to test it out. It's going to be your thermal detonator and your incendiary missile, which are being reduced from 30 meters to 10 meters. Is this a problem? Not really, because it kind of encourages you to run the basics of the Bounty Hunter class rather than your advanced class. The moves that they've affected are your advanced class moves. So your Bounty Hunter is still pretty solid, so this isn't really affecting the Merc so much, because it's got the incendiary missile and the thermal detonator. Both of them are Powertech moves. So that's cool, because the Merc kind of was struggling a bit anyway, so any nerf on their side would have been an injustice, I think. But for the Powertech, I don't think that... There's a lot of flack going around saying that they're overpowered, but I don't think they are. I don't think the shield tech, and definitely not the advanced prototype, which has actually had a couple of buffs in the recent 1.4. Your flamethrower is a little bit better, and you don't get so much damage from AOE. Small changes, I suppose. Really, I was hoping the advanced prototype would get a little bit better than that, but never mind. So let's talk about how the decreased range on the thermal detonator and the incendiary missile are going to affect your playstyle. Now, it shouldn't be a problem for most bounty hunters rolling a Pyrotech or a shield tech or an advanced prototype, because you should be playing in melee range anyway. I know a lot of people like to sit back a little bit, but it isn't really built for that, and this is going to encourage you to get into close range. But what it is going to affect is your burst damage at the beginning of a fight, because you're not going to be able to run in from 30 meters if you're running in and picking a target. You're not going to lay down that quick elemental 15-second dot to get your rail shot up and your thermal detonator and spank them right at the beginning, which I think is fine. I've actually released a guide. It's actually a 1 to 10 guide, believe it or not, which talks about the core mechanics of the Bounty Hunter and how you should be running to get your CGC up, or your combustible gas cylinder, or your gas cylinders up on a target without using specials like your incendiary missile and your thermal detonator. So starting off, sorry, I'm recovering from a cold, so I'm a bit short of breath. But getting your rapid shots and your unload, you'll see I'm using it a lot. I always have, moving in and out to keep your heat levels. You'll notice that when I'm playing these games and my videos that my heat levels stay very low. That's mainly because I'm not running too much of a spanking play. It's more consistent damage based on you having your CGC up and having those options available to you when you need to be bursted, picking the right time. So that is, I think, is what's going to happen with the reduced range on the thermal detonator and incendiary missile. So what if you're playing your Bounty Hunter and you keep spamming incendiary missile or your thermal detonator at long range and it's doing nothing? Well, that's fine, because we've got plenty of moves we can supplement this with, and let's talk about a couple of them. Let's highlight the incendiary missile move ability first, and just take a look and have a think about how much damage this actually kicks out over 15 seconds. It's not a lot. What can we do to supplement this? Well, take a look at this Warzone and my end stats. I do not use incendiary missile in this Warzone. I've done that on purpose just to show you that my heat is very low at all times. 25 heat for the incendiary missile is a massive amount of heat, and I don't have my thermal sensor override to give me that free move to negate the heat at that 25%. And even if I did at level 50, I would pop my thermal sensor override at long range and use my incendiary missile and negate the 25 heat. Now, do I want to be doing that inside a fight? It's a little bit extra to your rotation, and also, is the fight going to last long enough to get that 15 seconds? With the Powertech, probably not, especially in a one-on-one situation. So, is the incendiary missile necessary? I don't think so. I don't think it's necessarily incendiary to use this. Yes, I'm going to have a look into that. I'm going to spec into different things and whether the thermal detonator is needed, or whether BioWare is pushing us toward more hybrid specs with the Powertech. That's what I'm going to be looking at. So the thermal detonator, let's have a quick talk about that, because you get your explosive dart, which I'm using in this video, and it does AoE damage, and I can still use that at range. The thermal detonator later on you'll spec into at higher levels in the Powertech, you'll get a lot of enhancements to that. That's something I want to have a look at. Is it worthwhile? Is it going to be worthwhile putting more points into the maybe increased aim and percentage you get in the shield tech tree? So I'm going to take a look at the specs and what's going to be most useful for a Powertech hybrid, and whether you can still use these big hitting moves later on in the fight. The incendiary missile is definitely one to look at. It's 15 seconds. Is it worth it? 25 heat, and can you pop 2 flame bursts or perhaps some other moves just to make you just as effective? And at first looks, I've played 4 Warzones tonight. I thought I was going to struggle with the changes. I haven't. I've got top of the charts in all of them, and that's not bragging, that's just complimenting how well this class works. There's a lot of hate on the Powertech. Is it overpowered? I don't know. Maybe it's a fun class to play though. It feels polished, rounded. Do BioWare need to bring the other classes into the mix and stop hating on the Powertech so much? Because a lot of what we're using, or a lot of I'm using in this Warzone, just to show you without the incendiary missile and other moves, is that it's Bounty Hunter core, and the Bounty Hunter core is very good. And I've got a video which I've mentioned before, I'm linking it through this video. Take a look at it and see how perhaps these changes to bring it more into melee, we should be slipping back into a more conventional CGC, using that, and then maybe spending the skill points elsewhere. That's something to think about, and I'm going to have a look at that. But I also want to look at other classes and how that's affecting what we should be doing, especially like the medics who are getting an extra heal, stuff like that. So yeah, let's take a look at that as well. So what if we started using tech a little bit more? I've talked in other videos about how tech is crucial for your bounty hunter main stats, and how you get a slight boost to your accuracy with tech, and also how most of the moves you get from 1 to 10, which you're still using now, things like your death from above, all your gas cylinders, and other moves like that. Your flame burst is a tech, your explosive dart is a tech, and there's so much tech in the bounty hunter core, which isn't brought through into the advanced classes. So what they're doing essentially is nerfing the advanced class Powertech with your incendiary missile and your det. So yes, we can definitely look and diverse into this stuff to make sure that we remain top of the fucking pile, because Powertech pretty much is top, I think. We have problems with Marauders, and definitely with Sages and Sorgs as well, especially now because they've given them an extra heal. Oh, sneaky BioWare, giving them an extra heal, and this makes them very hard to take down one-on-one. and it also just makes a fight harder, because extra heals flying around everywhere is not good, especially for a Powertech who is essentially quite squishy, using mobility and moving around and trying to keep your profile low. But the minute you get targeted as a Powertech, it's not good. So extra heals flying around and not being able to finish off the healers as effectively as possible, because before you could just pretty much run healer decimator and take out the healers, benefiting the team, especially in pug war zones where it's not organised, you know, taking out back runners. You can't do that as effectively now. Also, one thing to bear in mind is that your snare has been reduced as well to 30%. You used to get, when you spec into it, your flame burst used to snare. Well, it still does snare. Let's be realistic. It still does snare, but it's been reduced to 30%. So, and actually, you'll find that people get away from you a lot quicker as well. So, not only have you had your range reduced, your range effectiveness on the surface reduced, but you've also had your snare ability reduced. So, it's definitely trying to throw a ball into the mix, just trying to put you off guard. But definitely you can accomplish all this and still rule with a Powertech. Just run with your rapid shots and you unload a lot more. It still puts your CGC up, it still opens up opportunities, and if you use them a lot more, it keeps your heat down, and not so much, especially at low levels. Don't use your incendiary missile as much, and just run it, win it, and just have fun with your Powertech. If you haven't rolled one and you're interested, roll one definitely, but I don't think BioWare are finished with us. I think definitely keep an eye on another class which you're interested in, because expect more nerfs for the Powertech and the Pyrotech especially. Thanks for coming, guys. I'm going to talk a little bit about the spec and the kit that I'm rolling with in this video, just so you realise it is very much attainable. Cheers. So let's take a look at what spec I was rolling with in this video. If I can remember how to bring up my... There you go. Okay. Been a while since I played, but this is the spec I was rolling with before I logged off. So I've got the Iron Fist 2, increases the damage dealt by Rocket Punch by 8%, and I'm going for a Flame Burst 2 as well, Burst and Flame 2. The Gyroscope Alignment Jets have a chance to defend 8 heat when stunned or mobilised. This is it's okay move, it's not amazing, but I put it in there anyway. The Sweltering Heat, 2 of them, and the Superheated Gas 3. The Incendiary Missile, of course, got to have that as your dot elemental damage. Later on you're going to get a where is it? I think it's that one, is it? Yeah. Increases tech critical hit chance by 1% and increases the damage dealt by pure elemental effects, which is your Incendiary Missile. So that's going to be 3%, to be fair. And about down here. Or Superheated Rail. Yes, sorry, miles away here. Rail Shock Launch, that's 2 points in there. Prototype Particle Accelerator, 3 points in there. I like the rapid venting because I like to vent heat, because I build up a lot of heat, as you've seen in that video. And the Fire Bug, I will be going into Rain of Fire next, of course. So that's what I'm rolling with in my spec. And my gear is average, I suppose. Got a 23 helm on level 31, so 28 chest guard. I think I might have upgraded. Maybe I haven't. It's been so long since I played this game. I've been playing PlanetSide 2 beta, and yeah, I got some nice gauntlets there. 26, mainly 26 attachments on that. My level 26 scalp belt and my level 29 leggings and level 20 boots. So I'm in desperate need of an upgrade here, really. My pistol's 28, and I've got a couple of crappy relics, and 23. I really need to upgrade my gear, really. Level 20 implants. So it's nothing great, it's nothing really that great in my spec, so it should be easy for anyone to get this really. And if you guys are interested in my rotation and how I'm playing my Powertech, I've got plenty more stuff on my channel, so check that out. I've got playlists, so just go to my channel and check out my playlists. There's plenty of guides, and each video will have a little bit of tip in it. So yes, I'm sorry, you'll have to hunt through them a little bit, but you can play just like this very easily. And one thing I do want to cover soon in my videos is my mouse, because I run everything off my mouse, and that definitely helps with your mobility and just getting things off quickly. So I'll cover that soon. So thanks guys, hope this was useful, and come back, subscribe, comment, rate, always appreciated. Nice.